Hey there, and welcome to another episode of the Digital Marketing Therapy Podcast. I'm your host, Sammy, and I'm thrilled to be with you again. And thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you letting me come to your ears every week or a couple times a week. So I just wanted to start out by saying thank you. This episode is a little bit about a couple of things. It's about collaboration and it's also about email marketing. Two things that I love dearly. And I'm a part of a free kind of gift basket giveaway freebie thing that's happening in a couple weeks. And so I thought I would bring Sandra Julian in to chat a little bit about how email marketing is important and impactful in the growth of her business, in the growth of her clients' businesses, and also why she decided to have that be the main focus and kind of pull a bunch of female entrepreneurs together for a giveaway where we can all grow our list together by supporting and promoting to our audiences and getting things out there to provide value to you guys and help us get more people on our list that we can nurture and support through our programs, services, and free resources. So before we get into that, Sandra Julian has worked for 20 years with clients to create, build, and execute amazingly successful live events. Sandra has learned a thing or two about what works and what doesn't when it comes to creating, planning, and delivering an in-person experience. She's on a mission to help female digital entrepreneurs host their own live events that are both purposeful and profitable so they can connect with their people, scale their business, and move forward living the life they truly desire. And that's what we're all trying to do, right? Live the life that we desire. And I'm a big fan of email marketing for part of that, or as a part of that plan. It's something that I use regularly in my business. So I just think this is a really cool episode talking about a lot of things that kind of all come together, collaborating with other people to help lift each other up, all with the emphasis of building email lists so that we can continue to reach our audiences and provide value. And she's got a great take on a lot of different things as far as spamming and selling right away and pitching right away when you're working on those collaborations. So I think it's something really important to listen to. But before we get into it, this episode is, of course, sponsored by Your Business Gift Basket Giveaway, which is what we're talking about today a little bit and something that I am participating in. And you can sign up between March 24th and April 3rd, and you can access the freebies starting April 1st and take advantage of them, I believe, through the 10th. We'll get some more information out to you, and all of this information will be in the show notes as well. And what it is 10 days where you can get 20 or more gifts for free, all about growing your business, email marketing. I've got my website redesign workbook in there for free. So if you've been wanting to get your hands on that, you can do that. But it's just a great way to get access to some freebies and learn from people without being sold to. So she's very specific, and you'll hear her talk about this in this episode. No selling at the beginning. So you won't be spammed, I promise. But it's just a great way to get involved. So head on over to the show notes at thefirstclick.net/podcast to get your hands on the information for how you can sign up for this giveaway. And there's a lot of really good freebies in there. So you'll definitely want to check it out. And with that, let's get to the episode. You're listening to the Digital Marketing Therapy Podcast. I'm your host, Sammy Vidal-Mulhern, and each week I bring you tips from myself and other experts, as well as hot seats with small business owners and entrepreneurs to demystify digital marketing and get you on your way to generating more leads and growing your business. Okay. Yikes. So Sandra, thank you so much for joining us and welcome to this episode of the podcast.
Thanks, Sammy. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah. So Sandra and I met because I did a contest on my Instagram to give away a free session of my digital marketing therapy kind of sessions. So that's how we had the pleasure of meeting. And now, you never know how things are going to translate and what's going to come of those partnerships. And so we'll get more into that a little bit later. But Sandra, if you want to just kind of share with people a little bit about kind of what you do and what how you're trying to grow your business and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, sure. So I am an event strategist and have owned my own event management company for the last 20 years, doing in-person events and producing those for my client. So in the last 12 months, I've been transitioning more into being an online coach for event creators. So, taking everything that I've learned over the past 20 years and packaging up to help others produce their own events in a more efficient, productive, and profitable way. So, that's what I'm currently up to.
And are there specific, I mean, is it corporate events? Is it trade shows and conferences? I mean, what kind of events do you specialize in?
Yeah, that's a good question. When I really first started my journey into event management, I did everything from trade shows to community events to festivals to music to business to conferences, you name it, I did it. Over the years, I've really honed that down and got really specific about the type of events that I do. And in my agency, we do business events, and really clear about the business events being conferences and awards ceremony that help move the needle inside of businesses.
Okay. So I think here locally, we just had kind of a Women of the Year event that the chamber puts on. So maybe something like that helps connect businesses would be an example.
Yeah, we've done 2 major awards events in my time, and I've had heavily involvement in it. And one is Indigenous Woman in Business here in New Zealand, and the other one was the Public Sector Excellence Awards, which recognised projects in the public sector that were making a difference for the country.
Nice.
So those events, and they were really moving the dial in those businesses, really acknowledging people who are doing great things, and giving role models for others to aspire to, which I love.
Yeah, that's amazing. So then I would assume, and I might be wrong, but then in your, kind of current iteration or previous, it was mostly events in New Zealand. And now by being able to open up and coach online and help people, then it kind of allows you to then work with people all over the world.
Yeah, and I truly believe that the process that I have defined over the last 20 years, it isn't defined to a country, it isn't defined to a language, it will translate across many types of business events in different countries, in different languages. Like, I really don't think that it is unique and specific to just being here in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I love that. And I love the whole concept of inspiring people and giving people other role models to look up to, because I think the online world and building businesses in that way is great. And it gives you a lot of opportunity, but could be super lonely. And so inspiring other business owners and working with other people to inspire their local community, I think that's a really cool, special thing.
Yeah. And the thing about events is, like, I truly believe that events will never go away. Like, humans crave human contact, and we love interacting, regardless of whether we're extroverts, introverts, or what kind of person that we are. There is something about connecting with other people and having that face-to-face contact with them that it will never go away. So when the online world was becoming to being and the internet became more accessible, there was a whole worry in the events industry that the online internet type event would take over the industry and we'd be out of a job. And I didn't buy into it then, and I still don't buy into it. But what I do see is we've gone online, but now businesses are wanting more of a hybrid online, offline, because humans crave human contact.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that 100%. So as you're growing your business more into a coaching space, I know one of the things that we've discussed is the fact that email marketing and staying present in front of people has become maybe not a big, but has become a bigger priority in that part of your business. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so building that connection, because you're building that know, like, trust factor. And so building an email list is how you're keeping in contact with your people regularly. And the people that are on your email list, they are interested to hear what you've got to say. So building your email list is going to be key to be able to getting your content and connecting that with your community in the journey that leads to your live event or whatever event that you're going to hold. So I do believe that, building your email list is going to be key to running your business. And whether that is online or offline, I still believe that that is how you're going to gather your people around you and how they're going to stay in connection with you and you're going to stay connected with them.
And be able to keep them aware of future events. I mean, I think especially in the event space, there's so many unique ways that you can use email, from, sharing information prior to the event, to giving them the information during the event, to the follow-up, and then to letting them know about future events that might be happening that might be of interest to them.
Oh, for sure. We've been doing this for as long as email has existed, which has really been as long as I've been in business. We've always had registration by email. It is how you capture them at registration point, but it's once they're on that registration list to attend your event, it's then about the journey that you're taking them on so they turn up to your event. So the email list in regards to events has always been something that has been present, and I've always thought about what is that journey from the point that they register to the point that they turn up. And that journey is super important. So I've been to other events where I've registered for the event and then I've heard nothing until maybe a couple of days before the event, and they're going, okay, here's the address to come to tomorrow, or whatever that be. They've not taken any time to think about my journey from registration point to turn up point at the event. So I've always been super big on that factor in itself, is how are we taking our people who want to come to our event on a journey before they get there and turn up. So now I'm more focused on how do you take someone on a journey that's on your email list, how do you take them on a journey with you way before your registration for your event even opens. And then when they're registered for your event, then that's a different conversation and a different journey. But up until that point, you still want to be talking to them about lots of other things, not just a specific event.
Well, and do you find as you're working with organizers, is email marketing something that they think is a priority, or is that something you have to typically convince the main organizer that needs to be a part of their strategy?
Yeah, when they work with me, I really don't give them an option.
I love it.
So when they come and work with me and we manage their registrations for their event, then it's like, this is how we do it and this is how it's going to happen. Because if you get me as your organizer, my reputation's on the line as well, because people know that you're associated with that event because they're dealing with you. So I have some things that are kind of not negotiable about how you treat your registered delegates from the point of registration onwards. How they get people into their event and into that registration point, that's a whole different kettle of fish. And some of the clients have an email list, and if they do, that is always returns the most registrations.
Yeah.
So we've dealt with those that have memberships, and the highest attendance is always from the membership. But it's also the opportunity to bring others that don't necessarily or aren't in your membership and don't necessarily have a lot to do with what you're offering at the moment, it's a good opportunity to bring them into your world and get them to your event and nurture them before they get to your event, and then continue nurturing after your event.
Yeah, that all makes complete sense. I want to flip this a little bit and say, okay, so I think that makes a lot of sense as far as event registration, nurturing them, keeping people on a customer journey. When it comes to you and your business and how you build your list in order to reach out to them to get them as clients, do you take the same strategies, or do you tweak it a little bit? Or, do you feel like growing your email list for your agency is just as important?
Yeah, and so in our agency, we've been growing our email list, producing regular content. We do it in a blog format in the agency, and that has been super important for us because in the agency, all of my clients are word of mouth, and I'm a bit choosy these days around who I work with. So building my email list for my new coaching online coaching business, where I'm coaching event creators to create their events, building that list is super important, because I'm going to have programs that I want to offer to entrepreneurs so they can know what goes into their event. Because even if you're not doing the groundwork for your event, you still need to know what is the methodology behind it in order for it to be successful and profitable. So building my email list is something that I am trying some different things on, that I'm doing over in the agency. And one of those is I'm embarking on an event that is a list building event where I'm inviting other female entrepreneurs to join me for an online event to build our email lists.
Yeah, and we can get into some details here in a little bit, because obviously I'm participating in this program with you. But I think for me, what I love when you're starting on a new phase of your business or starting your business from scratch, I definitely think every business needs an email list. I don't care what you are. And I fight a lot of clients on it. Carpet cleaners and HVAC people, we don't need an email list. I'm like, yes, you do. Like, you have regular services you're providing. Like, you want to stay top of mind. Like, people don't just get their carpets cleaned one time and then never need it again. Right. And so what I love is leveraging relationships with other people to build trustworthy relationships with other people. So if we collaborate on an email list building strategy together and share it with our audience, because my audience already trusts me, your audience trusts you, the other people's audiences trust them. If I'm going to put something in front of my audience, then they're probably going to take notice, and the quality of the sharing is just going to be elevated, because it's not just cold people. Right?
Yeah, totally agree.
And so there's lots of different lists I've seen. So there's lots of different things. Like, I did a bundle where I sold a course as part of a bundle. And we did list building this way. But I think you're doing something that's unique that I haven't seen before, which is what intrigued me as well. So can you explain a little bit more about kind of who you've brought to the table, what types of things, and the way that you're presenting this to everybody?
Yeah. So, when I was building my email list, and I'm still building it, I've done the build the lead magnet, get out there, offer the free download. So, I still have got that available, and most entrepreneurs have that available, and that's how they build their list, by promoting their free downloadables to get people onto the email list. And so, knowing that most entrepreneurs have that available in their business, by doing this giveaway that I'm doing, it's an online event, because events rock my world. So it has definite start dates and end dates, but it was about bringing us all together to offer our our freebies and our lead magnets, which are value for our clients, offering it as a gift basket. So if you can imagine putting all of these goodies into a gift basket and then offering it to an audience. So instead of the 20 people that we've got participating in the giveaway, all trying to go out and have different avenues to get their free lead magnet in front of an audience to build their email list, it was about how can we all do this together to get some efficiencies and get in front of an audience. The key to the giveaway, though, is to make sure that we are all targeting the same audience. So my ideal client is the female entrepreneur who has already started a business, has a suite of products, and is looking to grow and build that business. Because as part of the growth and building of a business is to become more visible. And to get more visible, we want to put an event into the business model. So that's my ideal client. So then I was looking for other female entrepreneurs who have a similar ideal client. And so when we bring that similar ideal client together and we can offer that person a basket of different things that is going to help them move the needle in their business in different ways. So from getting their website to be one that converts, to having emails that speak to the audience and nurture and convert, to having a Facebook group that creates the community, to knowing how to run Facebook ads. So there's a whole variety of people that I've brought together for this giveaway who will all provide huge amount of value to this ideal client that we all have in common.
Well, and I think the thing for me too that I love about bundles and things like this is a lot of times you might be really proficient in one area and maybe think you need to do something else. And then when you see everything kind of all packaged in a bundle, you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that, or I didn't even know about that. And it's just a great way to kind of also see maybe what you're missing as far as processing elements of growth for your business, or coming up with unique new ways to have growth in your business that you might not have considered otherwise.
Yeah, that is so true too. Yes, I totally agree.
So we are participating in giving away our workbook, our website design workbook, which is super exciting. And so we're thankful to get that out there. And I guess when you say giveaway, though, I mean, it's not just one person that gets access to these elements, right?
No. So how the giveaway works is it's an event. So it runs from the 1st of April to the 14th of April. So doors open to the event between those dates. During those dates, I've called it a gift basket because it's a gift basket of business building tools. And anyone coming in and registering for the giveaway, so you'll register for the event like you register for any other event. And then on the 1st of April, the doors will open and you'll get access to the gift basket. Then you can come in here and you can pick and choose which ones you want. So if you can imagine, the event is one big gift basket and you've got your own little gift basket that you're going to go and fill up your gift basket with the goodies that you choose. So your gift basket that you walk away with will look different to somebody else's, and everyone that comes into the giveaway, what they walk away with will all be a different combination depending on what they need and what they're looking for.
And it's all free.
And it's all free. Yeah.
Yeah, which is incredible.
Yeah.
So I really just wanted to share this with the listeners because I think it's a very unique and interesting way of going about creating an email list. And I agree with you. I think one of the other things that you're doing in here, which I really appreciate, is very specifically, we are not allowed to upsell at the onset. I think that that's great that you're doing that, because it just removes kind of that spammy, kind of greasy salesman element to it and just encourages people to nurture people. But why was that so important for you to include in the requirements?
Yeah, because people become hesitant. So if you want people to come into your community and you want to create and build that relationship with them, it's important that you don't want them to buy your product immediately. We want to create a relationship. So when you meet someone, face to face at a networking function, you don't immediately say to them, "Hey, I do this. Why don't you come over here and I can fix this for you?" And if they do say that, you about turn and walk 100 miles away from them. But, you're creating the relationship to see where that might take you and build each other up and find out a bit more about each other before you then put your product in front of them. So with the online event, I wanted to achieve the same in that we don't want to repel people as soon as we've brought them into our world. We want to bring them into our world, and we want to make it as easy as possible for them to sign up to get the value that you've got to offer. So during the giveaway, it was super important for me that all we're doing is making new relationships with our people, nurturing them and getting to know them a little bit more before they might then buy into your products that you're selling. So they'll get your launch materials down the track the next time you launch your product, or you can direct them to your website where you might have a few items that are available in an online shop for them to buy. But it's important that that doesn't happen until after the giveaway is over, because the giveaway is all about new relationships and getting to know one another and becoming BFFs before we take that next step.
Well, and I think it also gives me peace of mind as somebody participating that if I'm going to share this with my audience, that they're not going to then jump in and get hit with everything right away, that they will be able to learn, get value, and see some results before they're immediately slapped in the face with buy this, buy this, buy this.
Yeah, totally. And there's an opportunity to come into, so someone might come in and they might sign up for every freebie that's on offer. And then once they've got that, they might unsubscribe to a few of those lists. And I think we need to expect that, is that not everyone who signs up will stay on your list. They'll come in, they'll sign up, they'll get your freebie, and then they'll make some choices around whether that's something that they want to continue to learn more about, or whether they're like, "Oh, okay, I don't need that right now." But again, the not right now doesn't mean that they won't need it later. They've been introduced to you, they know who you are, but they're just like, "Oh, just not right now, but when I need to, I know where to find you and I'll come back again."
Well, and I think, I'm glad you brought up unsubscribes, because it's the same. I think it's going to be the same as what we would experience in any other situation. So if I'm paying to run Facebook ads to my lead magnet in order to generate leads, right? I know how much I spend on those, whatever. I might be spending anywhere from $2 to $7 a lead, depending on how you have your ad set up and what that looks like. But you're going to have unsubscribes from that as well. Just because that's the nature of the beast. And so in this situation, while we're going to be getting we might have a surge of email addresses come in. So we also might have a surge of unsubscribes. I feel that the percentage, if you really just looked at the percentages overall, it's not going to be much different.
Probably not. No, you're right.
So don't be afraid of the unsubscribes. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, the unsubscribes aren't a bad thing, because you only want people on your email list that are truly interested in what you've got to offer.
100%.
I really like the way that Jasmine Starr really looks at it. She says, either you will be attracted to me or I will repel you, and either is good.
Right. Well, and going back to what you said at the beginning, how you're very specific with the clients you work with on a one-on-one kind of consulting basis.
Mm-hmm.
The attracting and repelling is so important because it needs to be, in order for it to be mutually beneficial for everyone, it needs to be a good fit on both sides, as far as the personality, the project, the services offered. And the same, I think, is true even when you go into a coaching business where you're now doing, kind of a one-to-many potential situation. You still want to be attracting the right types of businesses and people to your programs.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do I say that? It comes down to who you are. And yes, what you've got to offer. There are many people who will offer what you do, so I'm not the only event manager in the world. I'm not the only one who's going to be teaching on how to create a successful and profitable event. But how I do it and my personality and my approach, people will either like it or not. And that's how they'll choose who they work with. So this whole idea of competition, it just doesn't exist. Like, I've never thought it existed. I've never been a big fan of it. I've always been, you do you, and you will get the right clients.
I love that.
So, yeah. And so I'm like, let's come together. I mean, in this giveaway, I don't have many who are doing the same thing. It's quite nice. We're all quite complementary in this giveaway. But even where we are similar, it's still, people are attracted to people and personalities, and you vibe off one another's energy. So that's what creates your world of clients, and your community is your energy. I just don't subscribe to this competition thing.
I agree. And I think that's also another beauty of email marketing is it allows you to let your personality shine and the way that you operate in your business and what you do. And so the whole philosophy, like you said, behind your giveaway and what you wanted to do is say, okay, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get your freebie in front of lots of people. But then it's up to you to nurture and keep them in your network and grow with them. And I think that's why, to me, the unsubscribes don't matter, because if they don't like my vibe and my feel and the way that I operate, then we're not the right fit for future programs anyway. And for as many people that are doing events, there's 50 million times that are doing digital marketing in this space. And so I could easily be crazy to be doing this. But yeah, like you said, I have an abundant attitude about my business and know that there's enough people for everyone, and we are going to attract the people that are the right fit for what we do. So I think really what I would like to challenge all the listeners to do is Sandra is not a digital marketing bundle giveaway person. Like that's not what you do. You do events, of which this has led to, but you created this really awesome collaboration and brought people together and brought people to the table and gave, I think you've done an excellent job at communicating with us, giving us imagery, giving us copy. But I just want to say it doesn't have to be this big. So if you're thinking about ways to grow your business, grow your email list, think about other people that you already know, other events that are happening in your community. And maybe you could speak about that a little bit too, but other things that are happening where you can partner with other businesses and share your audiences in meaningful ways and kind of grow together.
Yeah, I mean, totally. Like I've chunked off, a decent project to do as a list building activity, and I've invested some time heavily into doing this, But, I don't do things by small buckets anyway. When I chunk something off, usually it's quite meaty. But, there are other members in the mastermind that I'm in this year. There is just 4 of them, and they're doing a giveaway, and it's an Instagram giveaway. And that's been really successful for them. And then there are another 2 ladies, and they're just partnering to do a giveaway, and they're cross-populating their audiences. So it doesn't have to be 20 or 30 odd people coming together to do a giveaway. It can just be small, and it can be just, immediately those that are your business BFFs, where you have complementary audiences, and you can go out there and shout it from the rooftops with a giveaway, which is usually feels a lot better than shouting about what you've got to offer from the rooftop, because usually we all shrink away from shouting about ourselves. But when we collaborate with others and we build a something that is super valuable and we can see the value in it, then we're happy to shout that from the rooftops, because it's more of a collaborative and it's not just about you. So that was the
other people shouting about you, which gives you more validity.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's why this really appealed to me as well as a list building activity, is that it was about building each other up and being able to shout each other from the rooftops. Yes, you were a part of that, but it's a bigger reason and a bigger purpose. And just 10 times the value.
Yeah, I love it. Is there anything else that you want to add, or any other experiences you've had with collaborating or email that you think, just any last takeaways?
Wow, yeah. The emailing list build is an ongoing thing. I'm always looking for different ways, new ways that we can build the email list and that we can collaborate. Like I would rather collaborate than not collaborate. So any opportunity to collaborate with others to have a greater impact, I am all in on it.
That's awesome. Well, Sandra, I really appreciate you joining me on this episode, and we will link up in the show notes all of the information about the giveaway that she has put together, so you can learn more about that and be ready for when doors open. But otherwise, if people want to find out more information about you or follow you on social media, how can they do that?
Sure. Thanks, Sammy. So my website is sandrajulianevents.com. On Instagram, I'm sandrajulian.events, and Facebook as well, sandrajulian.events.
Awesome. Yep. And we'll link those up as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Lots of good stuff.
Thanks, Sammy, for having me. It has been a great conversation, and I'm looking forward to the giveaway.
It's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
A big thank you again to Sandra for joining us on this episode. And again, if you want more information about the Your Business Gift Basket giveaway, head on over to thefirstclick.net/podcast and check out the show notes for this episode, and you'll get everything you need there. Doors open again, like I said, March 24th, so a week from now. And then you'll be able to get access to all of the goodies on April 1st. And then I think they'll be available for about 10 days. So head on over and get all of that taken care of. If you're on my email list, you'll get information about it as well. But otherwise, make sure you subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen. I ask you every week, and I hope that you're listening and doing that so that you don't miss out on a single episode. And I'll see you in the next one.